Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Morrowind. Well, last time, Almalexia ordered me to turn on a weather-changing device in order to blanket the city in an ash storm until such time as she feels everyone respects her enough. So, okay, it's possible she's not the good guy in this story, no. And speaking of which, our next mission from Almalexia is hunting down one of her guards, who's apparently gone rogue. Possibly on account of the whole Almalexia going bananas and blanketing the city in a giant ash storm thing. So, okay, I am happy to hunt this guy down. However, I'd be very interested to speak with him before we fight, because I'd like to know precisely what it was that finally pushed him over the edge and made him abandon the tribunal. So, step one, we've got to find him. Good starting point then, just speak to various people and see who's maybe seen the chappie. And okay, I think possibly I may have just stumbled into something else here, which is random woman here in God's Reach immediately wants to speak to me about the robot arena. So okay, he used to go regularly, haven't been lately since he was looking to repair his warbots. I went by to see if he had made any progress, but the door was locked and no one answered. Strange whirring and grinding noises were coming from inside, and I can confess I fear for his safety, so oh dear. It's possible I may have just indirectly killed Ignatius by fixing up dangerous, unreliable warbots or something. Okay, I'm going to go and have a bit of a look-see at that right now, just to make sure Ignatius is okay. So, I think it was this door here, right? And, as she was saying, currently locked up by the look-see of it. Right, nothing we can't take care of. Hammer out. Inside. You can indeed hear whirring and clanking. And oh dear, I see one Centurion on the loose. Not actually, I was about to say not that tough, but that second blow did like nothing for some reason. So okay, we've got... okay. A very large number of robots in here. I would just spam the area with Blizzard, but right. You're standing nearby. Hello, Ignatius. How are you doing, my friend? So the containment gate shattered. All the bots suddenly started attacking. Disable them, and I'll pay you well. Look out behind you. Right, I'm guessing some of them just woke up when previously they were a bit chill. So, that's fine. What we can do immediately is, yes, just pop a blizzard over there. That should take care of most of them immediately, without being in range of that guy. So, right, draw some attention over to here if we can, and... somehow, that was a critical hit. Just no, leave Ignatius alone, okay? There we go. The warbots are down. Right. I shouldn't have helped you repair these warbots, should I? Like, this was a mistake. Well, bare minimum, that gets me another grand. Though, hilariously, his immediate response to the situation is, right, time to get to work rebuilding these robots that just attacked me. If this happens again, and I have to come back here to save you again, I'm going to be expecting, you know, more than a grand, okay? My prices go up with every rescue. And oh dear, some of the people outside are not happy about the ash storms. But on the plus side, missing a hand. Someone wearing the armour of the Hands of Almalexia has been walking around God's Reach, muttering to himself and acting strangely. Is that who you're looking for? And I'd look out, because I wouldn't want to tangle with one of Almalexia's personal guards in a bad mood. So, okay, once again, the gamer has very clearly indicated, hey, this is going to be a nasty fight. Question the next, though, how precisely do I ID him? Because you're just a high alternator. So, okay, have a quick mosey around, check the high alternators one by one. You're a high alternator as well. And here we go, Salus of Valor. So, right. Basically, you're dressed as a high ordinator, except by the looks of it, your armor's all shiny and enchanted. Probably with some very nasty enchantments. In a perfect world, yes, I'd love you to just wander into the back streets. That way, if need to be, I can use, you know, my various big magical spells without worrying about hitting civilians. And speaking of my magical spells... okay, I can't help but notice that, I don't have any mana right now, so, right, get, like, you know, a bit of mana back here. And yeah, step one, let's see if we can paralyze him. He'll probably be resistant to it, but it's worth a go. And oh dear, it would appear he doesn't want to chat. The moment you try and talk with him, he immediately starts yelling about how she sent you for me, now you're her favourite, how convenient. Whichever of us dies, she will be well pleased, and if both of us die, so much the better. Well, I am content. Maybe this is how it was meant to end. I ask the forgiveness of all the gods and spirits, whoever they may be. And you too might make your peace with your gods, because at least one of us will not live to see another sunset, so... Right. What he just said there is quite significant and maybe does tell us precisely what's going on here. The forgiveness of all the gods and spirits. As a member of, the personal guard of the tribunal, you're not supposed to be worshipping gods or spirits. You're supposed to be worshipping Almalexia and the other members of the tribunal. So, right. Possibly, the fact they've lost their powers means you've lost your faith in them. And you've reverted to worshipping the Daedra, though, given you've also mentioned spirits and whatnot, yeah, it feels like possibly you don't even know who you're supposed to be worshipping anymore. So, yeah, dedicated his whole life to serving Almalexia, and then lost faith in her. No wonder he's gone a bit bananas. Still, time to see precisely how tough you are, and how we're going to deal with you. Step 1, are you immune to paralysis? So, that way, if may... Okay, well, I'm not immune to paralysis. Turns out he got the first hit in. Beautiful, well done. Luckily, I'm actually carrying some cure paralysis right now. So, right, take that. Now immediately start, yes, chugging all of the health potions. I think I might be able to just about tank this. Yeah, now I can try and hit you in return. And resistant magic, I resistant magic, and... Okay, he's paralyzing me. Over and over and over again. This is a problem. So it turns out I can't paralyze him, but okay, we're both resisting, and then I died. Okay, paralysis, not going to work. Okay, idea number 2, using magic at range, given, yeah, I don't really want to be fighting him up front when he can just paralyze and also knacker me very, very easily. So, given I can't levitate in this area, I've got a plan. It's a very stupid plan, but still. Speak to you, kick off the fight, activate a bad idea, and then in just a second, gosh darn it, no, go! Okay, can't leave the city this way. So, right, I've now managed to get up on a rooftop using jump 100. So that guy's now running around like an idiot. I can't levitate, but I can jump, I can boost my acrobatics. Now, by the looks of it, he can't get to me anymore. The problem being, I suspect I can't do that much to him either. So just nuke that area, and no. Don't feel like oh, hang on. I'm not doing anything, because he's got perfect reflect, doesn't he? Because my own health is going down. So, there's no point getting up on the rooftops and just tossing magic at him, because he just bounces it straight back at me. So, okay, I need to take him on down on the ground. And primarily, he's going to try and hit me with a sword. Meaning, yeah, I need the ebony mail in order to maintain shielding and also a decent armor rating. However, his weapon has clearly got a lot of magic effects on it, so the Ring of Equity might be able to counteract those effects. Beyond that, having some chaff in the way, meaning, yes, someone who's not me's getting attacked, that would be good too. So I'm going to crack out, yes, that glove that gives me 3 bloody summons. Okay, I'm going to be honest, I immediately fell over and died because I forgot that I'm not allowed to wield Sunder unless I've got that magical gauntlet set, because Sunder just kills you because it's magical or whatever. So, okay, that's 3 deaths so far, but one of them was just caused by my own incompetence. Remember to unequip Sunder before taking off Wraithguard. So, okay, summon assistance, activate Ring of Equity, power up my own abilities as well with Aria Smash, and now remember to put, yes, Wraithguard back on before I reset my weapons. Beautiful. And this time, I'm feeling a lot flipping better. So, right, just to try and whack him. He's tough, I'll give you. Bloody hell, he's really tough sometimes. Okay, just drink some brandy, Absolutely, why not? And then, yeah, eat like 3 different sandwiches back to back. That is fine. And now get out of here and let him, oh bloody hell, get distracted by my summons, if it's all possible. So we're definitely winning the war of attrition. Just down he goes. Honestly, you guys were helpful, thank you. And he even had some pretty good potions on him, so he was probably trying to heal at the same time. And now, by any chance, do I want to put on any of this stuff? So, oh, blimey. He even had special... Oh, that's a powerful dart right there. So, okay, fighting him at range. Very bad idea. Though, admittedly, I'm not 100% sure how he was paralysing me, because that's not an effect on any of his weapons, but... Okay. Do I want to wear any of this? Because potentially, yeah, some of this could actually be pretty bloody decent. Let's just, you know, compare it to what I've got. So, my ice armor boots, that's a 146. Now, this is only, yeah, 1 of 40, but it does come with some agility. So, right, we'll be taking those, absolutely. The main armor piece and the helmet, obviously, we don't want those, because, yeah, the actual helm I've got, that's the Daedric artifact, and the ebony mail, those are both amazing. So, honestly, Reflector 5% is not that great. Fortify heavy armor is actually pretty good if you're wearing a full set of this, but that's fine. And then, yeah, we've got the Greaves here. So, that's a medium armor 5%, even though those are heavy, which is kind of weird, but okay. Right now, my Greaves don't actually, like, do anything. So that would boost my other medium armor. Honestly, I feel like, yeah, we can actually put on a fair bit of this. This is a good bit of stuff right here. And then, yeah, the left gauntlet, which is the one that's currently doing nothing. That's 5 points of strength. I mean, that's carry capacity, if nothing else. And then the right one, that's attack. But no, I can't possibly give up Wraithguard. Wraithguard is just too good. And then we've got the shoulder pieces. That's just a paralysis and a poison resistance. But only 5%. Do I really want that? I mean, the issue is... These are actually... Oh, blimey, John! Your overweight capacity. Like, quite a bit, actually, even with the bonus strength you just picked up. So... Okay, some of this needs to go, but yes, I'm guessing the problem's going to be weight. So, oh yeah, those boots weigh 60 versus 17. Right, and the Greaves are 45 instead of 12. Okay, that's a lot. Especially given this is boosting medium armor. With my current loadouts, how much medium armor am I actually wearing? Like, that's medium, that's true, and the shoulder pieces are for now, so that's not terrible. But yeah, the shoulder pieces weigh 8 versus 30. Given the effect is not that good, okay, you guys are getting abandoned. I'm going to put the boots on you, just so I can get to a nearby store to sell the other stuff. But okay, even having cleared out those bits and pieces, I'm still at 599 out of 625, which is also going to slow me down. However, a fair bit of that is, yes, the fact I'm carrying around the Blood Moon Mace that I'm just not using at the moment, because I'd rather have the bonus strength and attack from Sundar. And also, I'm just carrying around Keening for some reason, so I'm just going to dump those right here in the armory. We will come and pick those up later. Okay, we'll grab them on the way out. That's much better. Anyway, back to Almalexia in the chapel. Hearing good news, I've murdered that guy. And Silas of Alor is dead. The pain is almost more than I can bear. But you have served me faithfully, and it's in my mind to grant you a divine blessing. Would you like skin as tough as iron? Would you like my protection against paralyzing terror? Or would you wish to always bask in the warm comfort of my reflected glory? Quick now choose, you must not keep your deity waiting, so... Okay, I'm assuming I'm picking, like, a permanent perk, or maybe a greater power. So the first two, yeah, those are pretty simple. Skin like iron is presumably bonus armor. Defense against paralysis, I mean, that does show up occasionally against tougher enemies. That's not a bad idea. The last one, I'm not quite sure what that refers to, so I will take skin like iron, please. So okay, I've officially been blessed and marked as Almalexia's, which is good, I suppose. Oh, and there we go. It would appear that yes, basically she's boosted all of my armor skills by 5 points, medium and heavy. So, okay, I'm pretty sure my armor a second ago was like 230. So alright, that's actually not a bad increase. Thank you, Almalexia. And okay, it would appear at long last, she's willing to open up to me a bit. It's time we talked of greater things. I've watched you since your arrival in Vardenfell, and you have been a strong and a faithful servant to me. None but the Reforging could have succeeded as you have. How long I have waited for this. My Nerevar returned to me at last. I have watched from the temple as others have made the claim, and I have seen them fall. But I believe you are the one who has prophesied, though... Okay. Depending on which version of history you believe, you betrayed Nerevar and killed him, so... Okay. I'm not entirely sure I trust her. The fact she thinks I'm Nerevar reborn might not actually be a good thing. But go ahead, Almalexia, tell me more. And okay, specifically, she wants me to reclaim my station. So together, we can unite Morrowind and free it from the Imperial yoke. So, for years, the Chimer and the Dwemer had been at war. The Dwemer spurned the Daedra that the Chimer worshipped, instead placing their faith in their own metal creations. It was only when the Nordsen invaded Resdane that the two nations were able to join as one, under the leadership of our Nerevar and the Dwarf King Dumak. In time, the two generals became blood friends, and on the day that Nerevar and I were wed, Dumak presented us with twin blades, Hope's Fire and Trueflame, so... Okay. If she has only just come to the realization that I truly am Nerevar reborn, then this is a weird day for you. If yes, you are married to Nerevar, because I don't recall anyone mentioning that, though maybe it's mentioned in, a text in a library somewhere. I do not remember that coming up, though. And right, the problem is, you've still got your magic Dwemer blade, but Trueflame, the blade of Nerevar, has been lost. Lost, in fact, yes, millennia ago, at Red Mountain. Not just lost, in fact, but shattered. The flame extinguished, and in the confusion, the pieces lost. It's up to you, Nerevarine, to remake the blade and take your place by my side once again. I have only one piece, which I now give to you. Through my magic, I've been able to determine that the other pieces of the blade are nearby. Find the other two pieces and forge the blade anew. Only you may accomplish this, Nerevarine, so... Right. Why do I get the feeling, though she says she accepts I'm Nerevarine, actually, she won't really properly accept it until I prove it by reforging the blade. That, or this is all a trick. She's getting me to do this so the sword gets reforged, and she's got other plans for the sword. Just like she's been very cagey about what was going on with that underground shrine she had me sanctify, and that ring she had me recover. But okay, bare minimum, the other pieces are nearby. Look to those in the city that you know and trust for guidance. Find those who would have use for such items, and prove yourself to me, Nerevarine. Then we'll stand together once again, so... Okay, people I know and trust for guidance... Berenzia. It's gotta be Berenzia. If anyone knows, it's her. And as for reforging the blade, right. She's mentioned that skilled weaponsmiths live in this city. The Craftsman's Hall. The guy there specifically made a big deal of how he was good at forging special blades, so, okay. Find the pieces, go to the Craftsman's Hall. Got it. So, step 1, straight back to the palace to see what Berenzia knows. And okay, as I expected, she's got a leader for me straight away. And it's a very good news too. Helsith's champion Carrad carries a blade that is of an ancient Dwemer design. Maybe you could learn more from him, and... okay, Carrad respects me. I beat him in a duel, I let him live, and he seemed pretty chill with me after that point, so... it's possible he'll hand it straight over. So okay, the fact I've already done some work with the king's gonna work to my advantage on this occasion. And it's also possible he might be able to tell me where the blade came from, and thus where I might find more pieces. Oh, and I just noticed, by the way, you've got a bear on your belt. That's adorable. And there we go. Me and Carrad are completely 100% chill. When I was a child, my father gave me this weapon. He told me that as long as I had it, none would defeat me in battle, until the rightful owner came to claim it from me. I know now that you're the one of whom he spoke. I give it to you freely. May it serve you as it has served me, so, right. We've now got an odd Dwemer weapon, but we know for a fact that's not the whole thing. There are more missing pieces. Because yes, right now in its current form, this thing is not that impressive, no. And okay, Brenzi has got nothing else she can tell me, but she has pointed me towards someone who might know something. Maybe dear Plotinus can give you some advice, so... yes, you've mentioned this guy previously. A dear friend of mine, an author and a man of the people. A good source of information, so... yes, that's the guy who's wandering around in the courtyard, isn't it? Hello there, Plotinus. Sorry, Plotinius, my mistake. Lovely to meet you, my friend. So, right. Let's have a nice chat with you about, well, one, the mazed band. You found the ring and returned it to the goddess. Foolish, foolish, foolish. I hope your faith in her is well placed, so... oh dear. He doesn't seem to believe this was a good idea, and I'm inclined to agree. And okay. Unfortunately on this occasion, yeah. I wish I knew where to tell you to look, but my knowledge of the blade is somewhat limited. Maybe you'd be better speaking with Tarasa Aram, the curator at the museum. That's true. There's two people who are super into artifacts in Godsreach. The museum owner, and also the person in that house who asked me to get the dagger from that woman next door. So, okay, either of them might know something. And speaking of Godsreach, though ultimately we need to speak to, yes, the guy in the Craftsman's Hall to get him to forge the blade. I mean, he's an expert on blades. It's possible he knows something about mystical blades anyway. So okay, let's check them off one by one. Gaon Owleen. Nope, that's not even an option for you, my friends. Right, let's try next door at the museum. Oh, and here's interesting. It's possible she's sitting on one of the pieces right now. It's just she didn't know what it was. But yes, one piece of a Dwemer construction from roughly the right periods. It's a shield of Dwemer make, but not traditional in any sense of the word. The pieces of it just don't seem to match. I've wondered if it isn't some sort of fake. Suppose I might be able to part with it, but I would need some compensation. I'm always looking for new pieces for the museum. Unique items, armor, and weapons of law. You know the stuff. If you'd be willing to donate a couple, I'd be willing to part with the shield. So, right. You need something special and unique. And the question is, yeah, what have I got? Oh. The Robe of the Lich. I literally can't put this thing on, because yes, the drain health effect would immediately kill me. And sure, Fortify Magicka 300 points is fine, but I can Fortify Magicka like 700 points by putting on the Cursed Robe that just massively increases the intelligence multiplier. So this thing's actually kinda useless. And right, I can either sell it for 11,000 gold, keep it, or donate it. So right, presumably if I sell it, I get the money, but that doesn't count towards her giving me the shield. She did say donate. So, okay. I'm gonna say, you can have this for free. No trouble whatsoever. Do I have anything else I might be willing to give you? Because I've probably got... no, I've not got Stendar's hammer. You've got that upstairs. And as you say, the thing is ridiculously heavy. It weighs like 1,000. So, yes, as powerful as it is, I won't be stealing that. And by the looks of it, yes, everything else I've got here, I actually want to keep, ideally. I'm not giving you, like, you know, the Saviour's Hide, the Ebony Mail, so, okay. Just out of interest, though, hang on. The dagger that the king gave me just the other day. Like, you know, that's pretty powerful and whatnot, but it's a dagger, so I'm never gonna use it, so... maybe, just maybe, that would count. And I'm sure this mace counts, but that I want to keep, just in case I ever want to use it again. And I probably shouldn't give away Keening. Keening feels like, you know, too important to just donate to the museum. And there we go. The dagger counts, so 10 grand, or I can donate it. Honestly, 10 grand is like nothing, so you can have that for free. So that is 2 items donated to you, and as a result, presumably, you're going to be handing me the missing piece. And there we go, she hands it over. So previously, she classified it as a Dwemer battle shield. And as I say, I'm not sure what to make of it. The spike attached to the front of the shield seems to be loose, but a competent smith could probably take care of that. Good luck to you, and if you can recreate the blade, I'd love to see the finished product. So, did Almalexia ever say, like, how many pieces we were looking for? Because my brain's saying there's going to be 3, because it's a video game, and normally when something's been broken, you go and get the 3 pieces. But I'm trying to remember if anyone actually ever said 3, or if I'm just assuming it's 3, because normally it's 3. So, okay. Not actually 100% sure about that, but a competent smith has been mentioned, so, as men like to know, this bit of the city anyway. Right, Bowles and Darlin, me and you need to have a chat. And there we go. Like the curator was saying, something was weird with the shield. So he's just split apart. One a regular Dwemer shield, and one other piece as well. So the shield's unremarkable, and the blade piece, meanwhile, that's what we're actually looking for. Also, I only just realised, on the topic of, yes, 3 pieces, I've got 3 pieces. Because Carrot gave me the blade, and on top of that, Almalexia had 1 piece to begin with. So I've already got 3 cocky pieces. Though, curiously, Bowles Interland, despite talking a big game about, you know, custom armour and whatnot, as far as I can tell, there's no way to actually ask him to just reforge the Blade of Nerevar. Ah, but hang on, ask after Craftsman, and yes, in what is maybe a rather professionally embarrassing moment, he suggests that if I'm looking for a good quality weaponsmith, I might want to try speaking to Yagak, presumably the guy standing right next to him. So right, it's possible you, like, own the business, but this guy is the actual skilled smith, which, you know, traditionally orcs are, so that kinda makes sense. Oh, and hello, sexy. You've got some interesting pieces there, so I can work with this. It'll make the best blade you've ever seen. Not that I figure you'll know a dai katana from a butter knife. Come back in 2 days, and you'll have your blade. Now leave me alone, and, I mean, he's not wrong. I'm a bit disappointed that this is going to be some sort of sword, because I'm terrible with swords, but okay. We found our chappie, he's going to make the blade. And when he says 2 days, the game probably means 2 days. Speaking of which, I was just about to step outside in order to wait for 48 hours. It turns out Eno's still here. Honestly, I'm surprised you haven't been grabbed by the High Ordinators yet, my friends. But yes, literally wait 24 hours twice in a row here. And there we go. The job is done. Here's your blade, and before you ask, I don't know why it doesn't burn. I'm a smith and not an enchanter. You want Dwemer enchantments on this thing? Talk to a Dwemer. So right. He's reforged the blade as a physical sword, but it doesn't have the magical enchantment that it had on it originally, which was, like Almalexia said, a Dwemer enchantment. Problem being, there's not many Dwemer left. Now, there's that guy over at the Corpusarium, so he could be a decent starting point, albeit, you know, one that's a fairly long way away. Alternatively, never mind. We might have something much closer to home. I've heard rumours of a powerful Dwemer mystic who lived in Bam's Amschend and Radak. I've seen that name before. One of the areas I went through was called Radak's Forge, so okay, obviously he's long dead, but some of his writings could still exist. And that's true, I've literally seen the books on the table in that room. The issue being, not 100% sure how to read Dwemer script, so okay, it's the best lead we've got for now. It's possible we need to get those books and take them to what's-his-face in the Corpusarium. Oh, and luckily, feels like I'm not missing too much when it comes to Trueflame. Like, best stat it's got is 60 damage on chop, and honestly, Sundra is superior to that already. Though I will give you, as we just, you know, get it out to have a look-see at it. It does have a rather fancy hilt on it, yes. Oh, you know what? That does look kind of sexy, actually, so okay, now I'm a bit sad I'm not a blade user. That is a sexy sword. So okay, back underground into the ruins here. Unfortunately, yes, some of the enemies have regrown, though, as I said before, might be better just to ignore them and make a sprint straight downstairs, because some of these guys could be a bit on the nasty side. Here we go. It was this room here with the lovely, sexy, gigantic McGibberlant. Okay. Also, there's a ghost. Hello there, Radek. You were not here last time I was passing by. And contrary to the rumours, the guy is not a Dwemer mystic. He's a soldier, plain and simple. But sure, I made weapons for my troops. No secret there. But honestly, that might be precisely what I'm after. All I want, my friend, is to add a fire to a blade. So okay, I could take care of that for you, but we need some pyroyal tar, which I forgot because yes, the king of the demons deeper in the city, that was what was on his corpse, so okay, the fact I explored thoroughly the last time I was passing through, that is paying off nicely these days. Beautiful. And by the looks of it, right. As far as the Dwemer were concerned, it was never like, a site of a Daedric worship. That wasn't what these guys did. To them, it was just a spot with some useful resources in it, potentially including aforementioned oil. So okay, I've already got that for you. That's the stuff. I'll take this. And there you go. Not a bad looking blade, actually. Good luck to you, youngster. Now leave this old dwarf alone. Go away. I mean, say go away. This is the first dwarf I've ever run into who's willing to, speak to me outside of the Corpusarium. Like, we should really be asking this guy a lot of questions. Like, so many questions about Dwemer society and the disappearance of the Dwemer and, huge numbers of other things, but... Okay, apparently we're mainly focused on the blade right now. Tragically, no. There's literally only two things I can ask him about. The ruin and the oil. Oh, bloody hell, the weapon just got a lot better. Not just in terms of, fire damage of 30, which is pretty bloody good, but also, the chop's now up to 75. Oh, would ya look at that? That is lovely. Definitely can't use it, though. My long blade skill is 22. I would be incapable of hitting anything with any agility whatsoever. I cannot use this, as sad as that is. Okay, I'm gonna be honest though, I don't love the visual effect in first person, so in that regard at least, I think I'm happier with Sunder. Still, with the weapon in hand, let's motion back to Almalexia, who apparently now thinks she's my wife, which is fascinating, but... Right, let's see precisely where this is going next. So the blade is reforged, and thus our time has almost arrived. There is but one obstacle that stands in our way, though it pains me to believe it is so. Sotha Sil. I cannot count the times I have fought by the magician's side. It was he who stood with me the day I fought in Mournhold and banished Mehrunes Dagon to the depths of oblivion. It was Sotha Sil who was able to delve the mysteries of Kagranak's tools and raise me to my rightful station. Now, though, the Tinkerer has become unstable, so... Okay. She's finally willing to acknowledge that, Sotha Sil is presumably behind the mysterious robot dinosaurs. So once he was like we are, Lord Vivek and I. He spent time among mortals, instructing them, counseling them, protecting them from harm. He may even have loved them more than any of us, though I don't know why. It's been many years since any of us have seen the sorcerer, though. Many more since he took initiates into his service. I believe he grew weary of mortal imperfections and retired to his clockwork city, where he reshapes life, and some say the very world, into an image he finds pleasing. So, okay. Whereas you guys set up a religion out in the world, Vivek over on Vardenfell, you on Morrowind's mainland, Sotha Sil decided to instead retreat into himself and create a perfect micro-society separate from the rest of the world or something. His lair is as puzzling as the mind of the sorcerer himself. Ever-moving, ever-changing, its levers and gears responding to its master's will alone. It's here he performs his profane experiments, aided by magic and tainted by madness. So, okay. It feels like, yes, you weren't willing to acknowledge this, but now, possibly, with the whole robot dinosaur thing, you can't ignore it anymore. So I suspected for some time that Sotha Sil had entered Sheogorath's realm. His visits had been more and more infrequent, and punctuated by violent fits of anger. He began to speak of the fall of the Tribunal and the return of the old gods. But Sotha Sil is not a seer, he is a maker. He shapes the here and the now, while only I have been privy to what is to come. And I know this, he is no longer the man he once was, so... Sheogorath's realm. Do you mean that literally? Like, he's gone into the dimension where Sheogorath lives, i.e. the same place we go and visit in the Oblivion expansion? Or do you mean figuratively, i.e. he's gone bananas? Because I would appreciate some clarity before we, go to the Clockwork City. And okay, as we suspected, the Fabricants are obviously from him, given they were robot dinosaurs, and he was the big tinkerer, all about building mechanisms and whatnot. So, right. I believe it's your calling to stop this mad scheme, and I don't know if he can be reasoned with, Arya, but it might be possible. If he can't be, you must end his life. Though the idea saddens me, it is best for Morrowind, and best for him as well. You do have the power to do this. Trueflame can kill a god if wielded by one of noble intent. Steel yourself, Arya, and do what must be done. I will send you to the Clockwork City now, if you're prepared. Good luck, Nerevarine, and... Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not 100% sure I'm actually ready at this exact moment in time, Almalexia, though... Okay. Do bear in mind, we can't necessarily trust what Almalexia is saying here. Like, is it possible there's a certain finite amount of power available between the members of the Tribunal? If she wants me to kill Sotha Sil, it might be so she can have his power for her own. Maybe keep her own divine status going just a little bit longer. Like, we know you've been tinkering with some very dangerous artifacts that everyone says I definitely shouldn't have given to you. So yeah, it could well be the case. Basically, she's using me as an assassin to take out Sotha Sil, purely so she can claim his power for her own. But okay, if we're gonna do this, let's make sure we're in absolute flipping tip-top shape here. So, one quick trip to the armory, because, yes, I would like you to repair all of my weapons and armor. Beautiful. And I'll also take, good quality repair hammers, given the better the quality, the lighter the hammer. So yeah, just give me all of that, no trouble. I'll also happily take, basically any decent potion the potion store's currently selling. Including, of course, Sujamma. Take a couple of doses of Sujamma and some Telvanni bug musk, because the implication was we don't necessarily have to kill Sotha Sil. We might be able to talk him down. Some bug musk would help with that a lot. So yeah, that probably gets me to about 20 to 30 regular health potions, and 11 of the ridiculously fast 40 points a second for 5 second ones. So that's probably pretty good, combined with all this magical equipment that theoretically might be useful, and a whole bunch of scrolls that at some point I may or may not remember to use before our adventure ends. It's hard to flipping say. And then just one last thing here, which is, yes, if I just stand in the corner of the market district, summoning skeletons over and over, though... Can't deny, I do enjoy that, yes, because we're on an ash storm, the skeleton is also covering its non-existent eyes to make sure it doesn't get, like, I don't know, ash in its eye socket or whatnot. Plus just a tiny bit of admiration, and there we go. Speechcraft and conjuration both go up by 1, and that's just enough to give me a 1 final level up. A level up that is just enough to get my agility up to... Okay, it says 101, but I know it's going to go down to 100. You sadly can't get it over 100 just by, overshooting on the level up that hits 100. And beyond that, right. Luck affects everything, so we may as well have that. And speed, tiny bit of that too. Beautiful. But mainly, yes, I just wanted to get agility up to 100, because that one's actually relevant to my chance to dodge. But with that done, that's as strong as we can possibly be. And that means it's flipping time. We're going to the Clockwork City to take out Sotha Sil. And blimey, it turns out he lives in a Fallout vault. Okay, I assume Almalexia just teleported me somewhere. And as it turns out, yes, it's all suddenly very vault-techy in here. So okay, we've got flipping vault doors and everything. I love it. So just give that lever a lovely bit of a pull, and there we go. Not quite as fancy a vault door opening as we get in future Fallout games, but still pretty bloody nice, though. Literally the first corridor, and there's cocky swinging axes. I get the feeling I'm not welcome here, no. Still, I would say having made it to the Clockwork City, how about we call it a part there? But next time... Right, as I understand it, this might be it. The grand finale of Tribunal. And with that, maybe, just maybe, the grand finale of the entire flipping series. So, okay. It's all coming down to this. Me versus Sotha Sil in one final grand epic showdown. So, hopefully, you join me for that. But in the meantime, I've been John. This has been Many a True Nerd. And this has been Morrowind. Thank you very much, and goodbye. So, okay, I've been outwitted by a butterfly and beaten up by a fish.
Stop right there, criminal scum!
I didn't steal anything! I'm sorry, I touched the shoes while I was shoe shopping! Okay, I feel like I may have just, walked in on something. What about this person? Can we talk to this person?